sir.
Okay, start, ma'am.
Okay, sir. A very warm good afternoon to one and all present here. On behalf of Kalaslingam Business School, CAT, it's indeed a great honor and a pleasure to welcome to the afternoon session. I welcome you all the participants of Teaching Fraternity and my dear colleagues. The topic covered today's session is modern banking. It's covered by our great resource person, Dr. K. Shivamurugan, Assistant Professor, PG Department of Commerce, St. Clark College, Bangalore. Now I would like to call Dr. G. Ramesh Pandi, Head, Department of Commerce, to present his welcome address.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon to one and all present here. It's a great indeed to deliver the welcome address for the one-week faculty development program on effective learning and teaching methods of business practices. It is the third day and second afternoon session. First, I would like to welcome the father of Kalaslingam Business School as well as the main pillar of Kalaslingam Business School, Dr. G. Ravindran, Dean, Kalaslingam Business School. Sir, a warm welcome for you, sir.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to welcome our eminent women and simple women of Kalaslingam Business School, Dr. Vijay R., Deputy Dean of Kalaslingam Business School and HOD of MBA. Welcome you, ma'am. Next, I would like to welcome Dr. Ramya, the Head of the Department of Master of Social Works. Welcome you, ma'am. I would like to welcome our Program Coordinator for SHIP, Dr. Vanitha, ma'am. Welcome you, ma'am. I would like to welcome the eminent persons of today's program, the afternoon program, as well as the resource person, Dr. G. Shivamurugan, Assistant Professor, PG Department of Commerce, St. Claret College, Bangalore. A warm welcome for you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I would like to welcome all the participants of Kalaslingam Business School and outside participants for always giving your support for creating a successful development of the faculty development program. Welcome you all participants for the one-week faculty development program. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to deliver the welcome address. Thank you for all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So shall I introduce the resource person, sir?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sir. So it's my privilege to introduce our today's resource person, Dr. K. Shivamurugan, Assistant Professor, PG Department of Commerce in St. Clark College, Bangalore. And he had completed his education qualification UG and PG in Ayanada Janagammal College. He did a various diploma courses also, and he awarded PhD in MK University in 2018. He's a net qualified person in 2019. He's having a research works carried out in various sectors. Nearly 20 articles he has published in various journals, 2 book chapters, so many achievements he has secured in his career. He had guided so many projects also, 10 MCOM project, 9 UG project, 7 EVS project guided by his efficient knowledge. 7 MCOM projects is going on. Nearly, he's having a 4 years experience in teaching career and 4 years experience in the research area. And he act as a many role in his teaching career. He achieved a lot in his career. Learn as much as you can while you are young, since life become too busy later. I think he proves that. We are honored and privileged to have you with us today, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, please enable me to share the slides, sir.
So the guest of the day, Dr. K. Shivamurugan, Assistant Professor. He's a very amazing personality, a man of the chief man, a man who has gone a long way and has learned a lot. And today when he's here, he shall tell his knowledge, and I'm sure you're going to benefit. You're going to have a wonderful time when he speaks. So now I hand over the session to Dr. K. Shivamurugan, sir, to lead the session, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Is slide visible, sir?
Yes, yes, yes. Visible.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
F5.
Yeah.
Please
okay.
give me F5, sir. Yes.
Okay, sir. Let you start your session, sir.
Yes, yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. K. Shivamurugan, Assistant Professor, PG Department of Commerce, St. Clark College, Bangalore. today the topic allocated to myself, modern banking. But before entering into the session, I am very thankful to the management people of Kalasalingam University and as well as the Dean, Professor Dr. G. Ravindran, Kalasalingam Business School, then Dr. R. Viji, Deputy Dean and HOD of MBA, then my teacher, Dr. G. Ramesh Pandi, Head and Associate Professor of Commerce, then Dr. P. Ramya, HOD of MSW, and Dr. D. Vanida, Coordinator of KBS. And I am very thankful to all the HODs and faculty members of the Kalasalingam Business School. Okay, now let us start the session. Some small introduction about the banking sector. So the next slide, if you see the next slide is telling about the traditional banks. The topic allocated to me, that is modern banking. But there is a need of the hour. First, I have to tell about how the traditional banks, they done the banking activities before 1 or 2 decades. So first of all, the meaning of bank, we can tell it as simple way. Bank is a place of accepting deposits and lending loans. Simple, the keyword is place. Bank is a place of accepting deposits and lending loans. Then the banker is a person, one who is accepting deposits and lending loans to general public. So bank is a place, banker is a person. Then the third one, banking is a process of accepting deposits and lending loans. Bank is a process. So here I am simply saying the 3 keywords. One is place, that is bank is a place, banker is a person, banking is a process. Banking is a continuous process of accepting deposits and lending loans to general public. So the traditional banks, before 1 decade or 2 decades, they were using only the traditional bank methods. The traditional bank methods, it was totally different from now what we are using. The traditional bank, they will only accept a deposit. They will only accept a deposit in one hand and they will give loans to the general public. So the main activity was carried out by the traditional banks, accepting deposits from general public and giving or granting loans to the general public. So the first accepting deposits and granting loan was a main activity. Then the second one, we can tell it as keeping valuables in safe custody. For example, if I am having some 100 pounds gold, okay, if I want to store the particular gold in a perfect safety place, instead of keeping all the gold in your house, in your home, if you are keeping all the valuables in bank locker, definitely the protection level is higher than that of house. So the keeping valuables in safe custody, that is a third point about the traditional banks. The traditional banks, they were giving locker facility to the savings bank account holders or current account holders or recurring deposit account holders, but they have to maintain some fixed deposit more than 25,000. Then they will provide the locker facility. We can store any kind of goods in the particular locker allocated to us. Then limited services. In those days, not those days, before 10 years, the banks were providing only limited services. Limited services means what? Generally, they will give the passbook. Okay, whenever you want to take money from your account, you have to use the withdrawal slip. Or otherwise, if you want to pay, if you want to remit some amount in your bank account, that time you have to use the remittance slip, that is pay-in slip. So pay-in slip and withdrawal slip and the passbook, they were giving as a free of cost or otherwise nominal charge for our account. So that is a fourth point, or you can take it as third point. That is a limited services provided by the bank before 10 years. Then limited use of technology. Before 1 decade or 2 decades, the technology was very low. Example, nowadays we are using the e-banking, internet banking, ATM card, debit card, credit card, smart card, and electronic clearing services. But before that, the banks were lacking of the technology activities. The bank activities based fully on the notebook method. The bank activity was based on fully notebook method, not a system method. So even though banker is a privileged debtor, so we are the creditors. But in traditional banking activities, the banker, they will treat the human beings, that means their customers are like servant. You have to come to the queue and you have to stand very long time and you have to enter and fill all the things perfectly. Then only they will accept and then only they will give the amount. So there are a lot of constraints were available in the traditional banks method. But nowadays, what happened? Nowadays, the traditional bank totally changed in the form of new methodology of banking, that is electronic banking. New methodology of banking, that is electronic banking. So with the help of that one, you will understand what about the traditional bank activities before 1 or 2 decades. Now, if you see the third slide, it is clearly explained about the e-banking activities. Here, there are 3 paras are there. Instead of seeing all the 3 paras, you can easily understand what is e-banking. I already said that banking is a process of accepting deposits and lending loans. If you are doing in physical form, that is an ordinary banking method. If you are doing all the banking activities in a physical form, that is an ordinary banking method. Instead of that, if you are using the same banking method but through electronically, that is called as electronic banking. Okay, any banking methods to be convertibly in the form of electronically, that is called as electronic banking. So the first point, it is clearly tells that delivery of banking services and products directly to customers using electronic delivery channels. Electronic delivery channels means with the help of internet or ATM card, debit card, credit card, what and all activities we are doing related to banking, all the activities are now called as e-banking. Earlier, e-banking was in the form of ATM and telephone transaction. You know that very well. Suppose if you are in the age of 40 or 50, you will know about the banking activities before 10 years. One banking activity was there, that is called as telephone banking. Okay, we can call it to the banker and we can give some instruction and we can take money or we can deposit the money based on the time allocated to us. That is a telephone banking. And before some years, the people, they were using only ATM cards. I think you all understand about the ATM card, debit card, credit card different. In the upcoming slides are clearly explaining what is ATM card, debit card and credit card. But here, my inbound duty, what is ATM card? ATM card, we can take money from the ATM and we can use it for the fund transfer option. Only 2 options are there in the ATM. But recently, the internet is used for facilitating banking transaction and offers anytime, anywhere banking. After introduction of the internet, that is network, anytime, anywhere banking is happening. 24/7, we can see the balance. 24/7, we can do the withdrawals. 24/7, we can do some payment of bill activity. All the things are happening with the help of internet. If you are doing any banking activities with the help of internet, that is called as electronic banking. If you see the next slide, it is explaining about the merits of e-banking. Now, majority of the people, we all are thinking that e-banking is totally different from all the sectors. Not like that. E-banking is a major concept. E-banking has lot of sub-components. The ATM, debit card, credit card, internet or online banking, all the activities are coming under the roof. The roof is electronic banking. So the electronic banking, what are the general merits are there? It is very fast. Suppose if I am working in Bangalore, I want to send rupees 10,000 to my friend. He is working in America. I can transfer the money within a second with the help of IMPS or RTGS. From India, that is from Bangalore to the America, the amount automatically it will convert into dollar, and my friend, he will receive the amount within a second, within a fraction of a second. So that is very fast. Then flexibility and as well as convenient, both the things are similar. you can use, if you are using any smartphone, if you are using any smartphone, Android phone, Apple phone, you can use the e-banking activities at any time, 24 into 7. That means 24 hours and 7 days you can use without any constraints. Then cash free. Before and all, whenever, wherever we want to go, there is a bound duty. Always we have to go with some amount of cash. But now there is no need of going with cash. Instead of that, you can take your plastic card. With the help of plastic card, wherever, whenever you want to go, you can go and you can take money or merchandise activities. You can do within a second. Then low setup cost. The banking people, they are thinking that, the banks, they are thinking that the setup cost is high. No, that is not true. The setup cost is high. The setup cost is very low compared with the physical banking. The physical banking, example 10 to 11, in a branch, there are nearly 100 customers are standing there. Instead of that, if you are creating one ATM center, the ATM center, it will handle nearly 100 customers per hour. Nearly it will handle 100 customers per hour. So that is a peculiar significant from the ATM. So low setup cost compared with the physical banking. Then the cost effective. The cost here, you know that profit equal to sales minus purchase. Profit equal to sales minus purchase. In bank, what is the formula of profit? Profit is equal to loans minus deposits. Okay. If I am collecting 100 rupees from the general public, if I am giving 200 rupees to general public, the difference is 100 rupees. In the difference 100 rupees, if I am paying some employee salary and the bank particular premises rent, then ATM rent, then finally rupees 50 is there, the 50 is profit. So in physical banking method, the employees were more. But after the introduction of the e-banking methodology, now you can go any branch and you can see only some 4 employees are there in the branch. 1 manager, 1 assistant manager, then 2 clerical staff and 1 security personnel. If possibility is there, 1 clerical staff will act as a cashier. Okay. So here, what is the point? The cost effective. Before, at the time of physical banking activities, the employees were more. But nowadays, in banking, if you go to any branch, the employees are very less compared with the previous one. So that is a very cost effective one. Then funds management. If our expenses are less, we can use the particular funds to some other purposes. If our expenses are very less, we can use it to some other purposes. That is called as fund management. Then protection of environment. Now you know that very well. As per the RBI recent guidelines, any ATM, all the ATM centers are not giving the receipt to the consumers or customers. So that is an important one, protection of environment. After introduction of the e-banking, the environment is maximum protected from banking side. Maximum protected from banking side. So no paperless work. If no paper is there, there is no need of tree. Tree means before and all the people, they were cutting the tree. But now, because of the bank, the people are growing the trees. And you know that very well, one concept is there, CSR, corporate social responsibility. If any company is earning more than 5 crore amount of profit, there is a mandatory thing. The particular companies has to pay, the particular company has to spend 2% of the net profit. So it is applicable to the banking companies also. Now, majority of the banks, they are concerning about the protection of environment. Example, if you have free time, you can go and see the Sabarimala. In Sabarimala, the Federal Bank of India, you know that very well. The Federal Bank of India is a private sector commercial bank. It is based from Caroline Bank. It is based from the place of Kerala. So in Federal Bank, what they are doing in Sabarimala, if you are giving some plastic bags, immediately they are giving some jute bag. If you are giving some 1 rupee plastic bag to the particular people, the particular federal bank people, they are putting some tens there. If you are giving 1 rupee plastic bag, immediately they are giving some jute bag instead of that plastic bag. So these are the activities are coming under CSR. So the 2% generally they are spending for the protection of environment. You know that very well. Morning means evening. Coin head means tail. As the same way here, one side merit is there and another side some demerits are there. The first demerit or disadvantages you can take it as security. Even though we all are familiar in e-banking transaction activities, but the security is questionable one. The security is questionable one. In India, we are using branch banking system. In India, we are using branch banking system. But in foreign countries, especially in the state of America and all, they are coming under unit banking. They are coming under unit banking. So the people are asking why in America now also they are going with the unit banking. The American people, they are telling that why we are unit banking, one of the main reason is if our bank activity is a unique one, then we can provide 100% security to our users. And they are telling one more information. In India, the people are always speaking about electronic banking, debit cards, credit cards, all the things are going on. That is fine. But the real thing is, in India, the network strength is very low compared with foreign countries. In India, the network strength is very low compared with the foreign countries. The SSL, Secure Socket Layer, HTTPS, Hypertext Transfer Protocol Service, these are things are protecting the bank from backend. But the American people, they are telling that in India, even though they are speaking about a lot of e-banking activities, but in generally the India network problem is there. So here the question is automatically arising security. Then point number 2, internet accessibility. Just now I said, okay, there are a lot of network companies are there. Jio, Airtel, Vodafone. There are a lot of companies are there. Now the first one is Jio, and the second one you can tell it as Airtel. Even though the Airtel, they are having nationwide cell phone towers, but I am working in Bangalore, nearby my college, and within my college campus, the network of Airtel is 0. But Jio, compare with the Airtel, the Jio is okay. And I am not satisfied with Jio also. So that is a question of the second one, internet accessibility. How we are getting the internet accessibility. The BSNL, now the BSNL is going somewhere. The modem and all, nobody is using because the BSNL, the wires are breaking. It put up onto the soil before some 30 years, 40 years. So the strength of the internet is a questionable one. The third demerit is a customer service. You know very well, in India, we are always willing to face-to-face transaction. We are always willing to take the face-to-face transaction. If you are a customer, if you are a consumer, if you are a buyer, okay, our people are expecting the face-to-face interaction. If the face-to-face interaction is not good, if the face-to-face interaction is not happening, our customers are thinking that the particular service is not good. And one more thing, in India, majority of the people are living in rural place. You can tell that, no, even though they are in rural place, now all are using mobile phone applications and all. But they are using, but how effectively they are using, that is a question. They are using, that is fine. But how they are effectively using, that is a questionable one. So the customer service, the people, the rural people or illiterate people, they are always needing the particular face-to-face interaction, but e-banking, there is no option of face-to-face interaction. So the people, the illiterate and the rural people, they are telling that the customer service is not good in e-banking activities. Then the final one, knowledge regarding use of internet. Just now I said that in India, majority of the places are coming under rural. Majority of the places are coming under rural. Majority of the people are living in rural. Majority of the people are illiterates. Now it's going on. Now it's increasing. But generally, I'm speaking. Generally, majority of the people are living in rural, their illiterate level is also very high. So knowledge regarding use of internet, how we are using the internet, but how we are effectively using, that is a questionable. So the fourth one, knowledge regarding use of internet, that is a final demerit. Then the next slide, if you see, popular services covered under e-banking. At the time of starting only, I said that the e-banking is a roof. The e-banking is a roof. The people, we are thinking that e-banking is different, ATM is different, debit card, credit card, smart card, all the things are different, but not like that. E-banking is a core, e-banking is a main, e-banking is a roof. It has several phases. One is ATM. So the first one, popular services covered under e-banking. The first one is ATM. The ATM is the acronym. The acronym, it has abbreviation also, automatic teller machine. Okay. These are the simple things. Today, what I am taking, what I am teaching, all the things you are knowing very well. But that is my bound duty. I have to explain, I have to tell in my own way, and you can recall how we are effectively using the ATM or how we are using the internet banking effectively. So that is a general thing, but I am here, I am producing in little bit different. Okay, finally, we will see how it is going. So the ATM, the abbreviation is automatic teller machine. An ATM is an electronic fund transfer terminal capable of handling balance inquiries, cash withdrawal, and the next one is fund transfer. And the next one is fund transfer. Here I mentioned that pay bills, that is wrong. Here I mentioned that pay bills, that is wrong. Instead of that, there you can write it as fund transfer. With the help of ATM, we can check the balance inquiry, and we can do the withdrawing, and we can do the fund transfer. Example, okay. Now I am working in Bangalore Central College. Before that, I was working in Ayyanadu Janamal College, Sivagasi. In Ayyanadu Janamal College, I have one salary account, TMP, Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank. And my teacher, Dr. G. Ramesh Pandey also, he was working there. If suppose I want to send rupees 5,000 rupees 5,000 from my account to my friend Ramesh Pandey account, there is a chance in ATM, because I am also the customer of TMP and he also using the same bank TMP. So with the help of ATM center, with the help of my ATM card, I can swipe it and one option will come, that is fund transfer. In the fund transfer, the first option is self-transfer. The first option is self-transfer. I am having one salary account. At the same time, I am keeping one more RD, that is called as self-transfer. I can transfer from my salary account to my RD account, my another current account somewhere. I can do that. That is called as self-transfer. Or otherwise, one more option is there, third-party fund transfer. One more option is there, third-party fund transfer. I can swipe it and the option will come fund transfer. You have to click the fund transfer. Then the three options will come. One is self-transfer. Then the second one is third-party transfer. And the fourth one is card to card transfer. Okay. Now, we will speak about the second one, third-party transfer. First, what I said, my friend Ramesh Pandey is asking rupees 5,000. Here, there is a chance with the help of that card, I am giving the third-party fund transfer and I am simply entering Dr. Ramesh Pandey account number. Automatically, it will tell us that Dr. G. Ramesh Pandey, AJ College branch, Sivagasi. Okay. What I enter the account number, the name, what is showing there, that is correct. So I can transfer rupees 5,000 within a second, within a one click, automatically the rupees 5,000 transfer from my account to my friend account. So the fund transfer option is there. So balance inquiries, we can do that. Then the cash withdrawal, we can do that. Then the third one, fund transfer option is there. But only one main option is pending compare with debit card. That is called as merchandise services. That is called as merchandise services. What is merchandise service? Merchandise service is nothing but we can or you can use the card for multiple purposes, card for merchandising activities, that is called as merchandising activities. Merchandising activities means nothing but if you want to book any rail ticket, train ticket, if you want to book any flight ticket, you can do with the help of the card that is called as merchandising service. So the ATM card, we can take withdrawal, then balance inquiry and fund transfer, but the merchandising option is pending. That is one of the limitation of the ATM card. Then it is operated by plastic card with its special features. You know that very well. The ATM card, what we are telling ATM card, instead of that, you can tell it as plastic card also. It enables the customer to withdraw money anytime. It enables, not a disable. It enables the customer to withdraw money at any time. If I am using one ATM card, the ATM card is coming under some company, that is Visa or MasterCard or MasterCard. I can use any ATM within India. I can use any ATM center within India. But if I am using TMP debit card, TMP ATM card, in the TMP ATM card, I can take a maximum of 30,000 or as per my limit The same TMP ATM card, I can take it, I can use it to some other ATM also, but the maximum withdrawal limit is only 10,000. So I think you will understand the concept. The TMP, suppose if you are having TMP ATM card, you can take as per your limit the same TMP ATM center. If you want to take from some other ATM center, the maximum limit for some other ATM is only rupees 10,000. So the slide is clearly explaining about the ATM. Then see the next slide. So next slide. Hello. Sir, next slide. The next slide is debit cards and credit cards. Okay. I simply mentioning the debit cards and the credit cards. Why I created only some 3 sentences, because we all are very familiar about the debit cards and the credit cards. Okay. First, what is debit card? Debit card is nothing but debit card equal to ATM plus merchandise services. Debit card, the formula is actually not a formula, but I am telling for your easy understanding. Debit card equal to ATM plus merchandising services. Okay. So the debit and credit cards provide the usage of bank money wherever and whenever it is required by the individual. So the debit card, what is the extra option is that you can do the merchandising activities. Okay. So the ATM card, if you are seeing any ATM card, the ATM card, the front side, the 60 numbers are then valid up to and all there. But what is the difference between the ATM card and debit card? If you are seeing the back side of the ATM card, the CVV number will be missed. That is ATM card. If the CVV number is there, that is called as debit card. If CVV number is there, that is called as debit card. Okay. So with the help of debit card, now what are the functions the debit cards are having? We can see the balance and we can take the money from the ATM centers and we can do the fund transfer, but the same bank, not a branch, but the same bank. Then the fourth one, we can do the train ticket booking, then flight ticket booking and EV bill payment, like that. Okay. So that is the difference between the ATM card and debit card. Then the next one is credit card. Credit card, the formula is ATM plus debit card plus credit facility. Credit card, the formula is ATM plus debit card plus credit facility. Okay. So ATM, what and all functions we can do? Balance inquiry, withdrawal and fund transfer. Then debit card, merchandising. So the 4 options we can do it in credit card. And one more extra option is the credit creation. In debit card and ATM card, if you are having enough amount in your bank account, then only you can use it, your ATM and debit card, then only it is valid. But the credit card, the option is there. if you are not having amount in your account also, you can use, if you are not having enough amount in your account also, you can use the credit card. And one more thing, for the ATM card and debit card and all, if you want the ATM card and debit card and all, there is a mandatory thing, you have to open some account. It may be a SB savings bank or current account or recurring deposit or etc. But the credit card numbers, the 16-digit numbers are there. The 16 digits are numbers are only account number. There is no need of specific account. There is no need of specific account. Okay. So, example, if I am having one, actually I am having one Axis Bank credit card. In the Axis Bank credit card, if I don't have enough money also, wherever I want to go, I can use the card without hesitation, because the card is providing some credit facility to the particular card. Example, my credit card limit is 50,000. Okay. If I want to go some movie, okay, I can simply go to the PVR mall and I can swipe the card. If I want to go some supermarket, I can simply go to the supermarket. I can purchase any kind of product, but the limit is there. So that is the difference between the ATM card, debit card, and the credit card. Credit card, there is no need of account. The credit card is a different account. The credit card is providing extra credit for the particular card holder. And one more thing, if you are using credit card and there is a mandatory thing, you have to pay the particular amount. What you use, you have to pay the particular amount within some several days. Example, it may be 50 days or 40 days. Even though one day is going beyond the limit, you have to pay some huge amount in the name of fine. So there is a difference of ATM card and debit card, credit card. Then the next slide is smart card. The next slide is smart card. Generally, we people are not using smart card. Because majority of the people, we are coming under the category of middle class. I am not knowing about all the people, but example, I am belongs to the category of middle class. So the middle class, we are using ATM card or debit card and sometimes credit card also. Example, the real-time example, myself. I am using debit card and as well as credit card also. But the smart cards are combination of ATM card, debit card, and credit card. Smart cards are combination of ATM card, debit card, and credit cards. The smart cards are, it will act as ATM card and it will act as a debit card and it will act as a credit card. The very good business people, very wealthiest people, they are using this type of card. Okay. Automatically, they will connect their account number to the particular card. If in their account amount is there, automatically the card will debit from the particular account. If the amount is not there, then it will act as a credit card. Okay, so smart card is equal to ATM plus debit plus credit card. So the three cards are combinedly joining. The card is called as smart card. Okay, but now the smart cards, our debit card also little bit doing smart card function. How? The chip is there, ICC, integrated circuit chip. ICC, integrated circuit chip. As per RBI recent guidelines, if your cards are having the particular ICC integrated circuit chip, then only it will be working, or otherwise it will be not working. Here the smart cards theory, banks are adding chips to their current magnetic stripe cost to enhance the security and offer new service. It can have a monetary balance downloaded to the card, which can be used like cash for transportation, event admission, etc. A smart card can be reconfigured for different users through the interface machine. Just now I said, no, you can do the particular card in the form of debit card or otherwise credit card. Based on our circumstances, based on our situation, the card will act as well. And now all the debit cards are doing little bit smart card functions because the chip is there. The chip name is ICC, integrated circuit chip. Why the chip is there? If the chip is there in the card, then our data are very perfect. Our data are very safe. That is the meaning of that. Then see the next slide. The next slide is telling about mobile banking and SMS banking. Mobile banking and SMS banking. Okay. Before 1 decade or 2 decade, we were using the smart card. Before 1 or 2 decade, we were using SMS banking. Now we all are using M banking. That is mobile banking application. Okay. The meaning of the mobile banking or SMS banking used for performing balance checks, account transactions, payment, etc. via mobile phone or PDA. PDA, what is the abbreviation? Personal Digital Assistance. PDA, what is the abbreviation? Personal Digital Assistance. With the help of the particular mobile phone, particular mobile banking application, you can do the balance checking activity, then account transactions, the account transaction of the period of some 3 months or 1 year, 6 months like that. And payments, what and all payments we done the previous days. We can do these kind of activities through mobile phone or personal digital assistance. It can be a notepad also. This is the meaning of mobile banking or SMS banking. Then perform via SMS or internet through mobile. If you are using ordinary mobile phone, then you have to do the SMS banking also. Our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, before some years, he introduced the particular concept BEAM. He introduced the particular concept BEAM, Bharat Money Transfer something. So the BEAM, we can do it in 2 ways. One way is we can download from the Play Store, then we can install it in our mobile phone and we can use it the BEAM. Or otherwise, instead of that, *999#, you can do it in your feature phone. Feature phone means ordinary mobile phone. Okay. So that is a perfect example for SMS banking. If you are using with the help of internet connection, that is M banking. Okay. Doesn't allow cash withdrawal and deposits, but offers all other features of ATM. Okay. I am using Axis. My salary account is a Axis Bank salary account. I am using the Axis Bank mobile application also. In that Axis mobile bank applications, I can transfer some amount from my account to other person's account, but there is no chance of taking amount from the particular application. There is no chance of taking amount from the particular application. And deposits also not possible. If I am having one more TMP e-banking, with the help of TMP internet banking, I can transfer some amount to my Axis Bank mobile application. But in my Axis Bank mobile application, the 2 options are missing. One is cash withdrawal and the second one is deposits. But I am using all the features, except the 2. Okay. I can apply the credit card, or otherwise I can see the what and all payment happened, then account transaction or balance checking or loan or privileged offer. I can do lot of things. So that is a concept of mobile banking. Only options are cash withdrawal and deposits. Then enables banks to operate selected banking services over customers' mobile. The banks, they are coming to our mobile phone, that is smartphone, in the name of application that is called as mobile banking. If you are using Canara Bank, if you are using Union Bank of India, the Union Bank of India mobile banking application, you can take it from the Play Store and you can install it in your mobile phone and you can do lot of activities, but except the cash withdrawal and the deposits. Then SMS banking services are operated using push and pull message. But now, after the introduction of mobile banking, the SMS banking activities are not good. That means the SMS banking activities are in a stagnant position, not an increased one. So now the people are mainly concentrating in the mobile banking activities. Then you can see the next slide. The next slide is clearly explaining the concept of e-check. The concept of e-check. You know that check, physical check. Check is a physical instrument. Check is a physical instrument. Okay. To convert the money in the form of paper. To convert the money in the form of paper, and we can give it to one person to another person. But e-check, the e-check is totally different from ordinary check. Example, my name is K. Sivamurugan. I can use it by signature simply KSM, K. Sivamurugan. That is one way. In my ordinary check, I can put the KSM signature. But in e-check, I can change my ordinary signature to digital signature. How? My KSM signature will be transferred in the form of some numbers. Example, 4148 or 4147. That is one method. Or otherwise, my signature will be scanned by the banking people, and whenever I am asking the e-check, they will give the e-check, and I have to paste my scanned copy of signature. Okay. So the e-check, what are the peculiar things are available in e-check? The e-check is very faster compared with ordinary check. If you are doing any transaction with the help of ordinary check, it is taking nearly 3 or 4 days. But the e-checks are very faster. Today, if I am sending to any person in the form of e-check, today only he will get the amount. And why the people are using e-check than that of the NEFT RTGS? The e-check is evidence for the business people. The e-check is a perfect evidence for the business people. And the third one is they eliminate the need for consumer education. If you are having very perfect good relationship with the banking people, the banking personnel, there is no need of consumer education. The people we can use simply as per the banker's opinion, banker's risk, we can use it the e-check. There is no need of consumer education. Next slide. Internet banking or online banking. The next slide is telling about the internet banking or online banking. The previous, when we were starting the session only, I explained clearly, e-banking is a core, e-banking is a major, e-banking is a roof. It is having lot of sub-components, ATM card, debit card, credit card, smart card. Then internet banking also one of the sub-component of e-banking. Internet banking is also one of the sub-component of e-banking. Okay, see the theory. Use of the internet to deliver banking activities such as fund transfer, paying bills, viewing account balance, paying mortgages, and purchasing financial instruments. With the help of internet, we are delivering any banking activities or banking products such as fund transfer. I am transferring rupees 50 from my account to another person, that is a fund transfer. Then paying bills. If I am paying the electricity bill with the help of the bank account, with the help of the internet, that is internet banking. Then being accounting balance, I can see how much balance I have in my account. That is a being account balance. Then paying mortgages. If you are having any hypothecation or mortgage loan amount, you can do the bill payment or you can do the ECS debit activities. And purchasing financial instruments. With the help of online banking, you can purchase any financial instrument. That means it may be a shares or otherwise debentures or otherwise mutual funds. If you are not having idea about how to purchase the financial instrument, our banker will act as an agent for us how to do the purchasing of financial instruments. Okay. Then allows customers to conduct financial transactions on a secure website operated by their retailer or virtual banker. The internet banking or online banking is providing their secure website for the consumer use, the consumer or customer use. Okay. You can use it with the help of laptop. If you are using through your laptop, that time that is called as internet banking or online banking. If you are using some kind of application, the Axis Bank website you are using, with the help of laptop or desktop, that is a kind of internet banking or online banking. Or instead of that, there is one more option is there in your mobile phone. With the help of Google, you can do it, the Axis Bank activities, or otherwise you can download it, the particular application from the Play Store. If you are downloading the particular application from the Play Store, that is an example of mobile banking. But the mobile banking and the internet banking, both the bankings are similar. Only one difference is the mobile banking, we are downloading it from the Google Play Store, but the internet banking or online banking, we are directly using the bank's website. Okay, so allows customers to conduct financial transactions on a secure website operated by their retail or virtual bank. The retail bank or virtual bank, instead of using your keyboard, you can use it, the virtual keyboard. Okay, the virtual keyboard, if you are using, all the transactions you are doing virtually, that is very safe compared with the ordinary keyboard using. Then any user with a personal computer and a browser can get connected to his bank website to perform any of the virtual banking function. Just now I told that if you are using any personal computer and a browser, it will connect to the bank website. The two options are working. Then you can do the virtual banking function at your home or otherwise at your office or from anywhere. So that is a important, peculiar, significant concept. We can use the internet or online banking anywhere. Next slide. Next slide. Hello, sir. So, National Electronic Fund Transfer. National Electronic Fund Transfer. Before entering into NEFT, the main concept name is EFT. EFT, that is acronym. The abbreviation is Electronic Fund Transfer. The EFT is having nearly 4 phases, nearly 4 options. The first one is NEFT, National Electronic Fund Transfer. Then the second one is RTGS, Real-Time Gross Settlement. Then the second one is Real-Time Gross Settlement. Then the third one is IMPS, Immediate Payment Service. IMPS. Then the fourth one is SWIFT, Society for Wireless Internet Financial Transfer. The fourth application, SWIFT, it is generally useful for the bankers. The SWIFT, that is generally useful for the bankers. If any banks, they want to send some amount to some other person, that time they are using SWIFT. Okay, now we'll see about the NEFT. NEFT, the name itself has the expansion meaning National Electronic Fund Transfer. Facilitates one-to-one funds transfer. Individuals can electronically transfer. Example, I am having TMP bank account. My friend is having Axis Bank account. Okay, but both the banks are operating in India only. Both the banks are operating in India only. That time I can use the particular electronic fund transfer option in the form of NEFT. Okay, the simple concept. Any bank, they can send amount to any other bank, but only one limitation is there. Both the banks should be available within the limit of India. That is called as National Electronic Fund Transfer. Can transfer funds from any bank branch to any individual having an account with any other bank branch in the country participating in the scheme. Just now what I said, the same theory is there. I can I am using Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank account and I can transfer to some amount to some ICICI bank, but only the constraint is both the banks should be situated in the place of India. If the particular banks are situated in outside of the India, the particular option is not a valid. Then the uses of NEFT are, it is very simple, secure, safe, fastest, and cost-effective way to transfer of funds. Okay, there are 5 uses are there with the help of NEFT: simple, secure, safe, fastest, and cost-effective way to transfer of funds. Facility available through online mode for all internet banking and mobile banking customer. Okay, the NEFT, you can do it in your internet banking and mobile banking application also. And one more option is there. You can do the NEFT activity. You can directly go to the bank branch and you can do the particular NEFT activity with the help of the banker. If we are doing the NEFT transaction, for what we are doing for the NEFT transaction, the transaction charge is 0, that is nil. Okay. What is the minimum and maximum limit? The minimum limit is ₹1. The minimum limit is ₹1 to the maximum limit is ₹2 lakh. The minimum limit is ₹1. The maximum limit is ₹2 lakh. Okay. So if you are transferring the funds in the name of NEFT, there is no transaction charges if you are using from your internet banking or mobile banking application. Instead of that, if you are going some branch and you are doing the particular transaction in the bank itself, that time you have to pay some 6 rupee as a transaction charge, and GST is also included. So the NEFT, you can understand clearly, within the nation only, minimum 1 rupee to 2 lakhs. If you are doing in bank branch, you have to pay some transaction charges, or otherwise if you are using in your internet banking or mobile banking, there is no transaction charges. Then see the next slide about RTGS. Real-time gross settlement. The NEFT, there are some constraints are there. Minimum 1 rupee to 2 lakh. Then within the nation, that is NEFT. But the RTGS, money is transferred one bank to another bank on a real-time and gross basis. Money is transferred from one bank to another on a real-time and gross basis. Example, here the minimum limit is from 2 lakh. The minimum limit is from 2 lakhs rupees 1, that is 2 lakh. The minimum limit is 2 lakhs and the maximum limit is more. You can do any amount. Okay. So that is a real time and gross basis. But NEFT, if you are doing in your online banking or mobile banking, the charges are nil. But in RTGS, even though you are doing in your internet banking or mobile banking application, some charges are there. And RTGS, you can do it in your bank branch also. You have to pay some additional charges compared with what you done the previous NEFT. It is the fastest possible money transfer system through banking channel. It is the fastest possible money transfer system through banking channel. If you are the NEFT also, if I am doing NEFT, it will take some half an hour or 1 hour time or 2 hours time. But if you are doing the RTGS, when I am doing the transaction, immediately the amount will credited to the particular person account. It is primarily for large volume transaction. Just now I said, that is applicable for only large volume transaction, not a small value transaction. Okay. Next slide. The next slide, CRM, customer relationship management. Before seeing the CRM, there are some of the applications are available in banking sector. What are the applications? Now I am not speaking about the CRM. I am speaking about something. The ECS. The concept is ECS. ECS, what is the expansion? Electronic clearing services. The ECS, the expansion is electronic clearing services. How the EFT is having 4 types. One is NEFT within the nation, RTGS, you can do it to any country and any amount, but more than 2 lakh, that is RTGS. Then the IMPS, immediate payment service, I can do any amount. There is no minimum limit, no maximum limit, but some charges are there. Within the fraction of second, the amount will transfer to other person account. That is IMPS. Okay, you can do the NEFT and RTGS and all. There are some constraints are there. Only the banks are working. Only the days of the banks are working days. Then only you can do NEFT and RTGS. And some timing also there, morning 8 to 6 or 6:30 like that. But IMPS, there is no timing constraints and there is no maximum and the minimum limit. You can do any amount. It will credit to the particular person account within a second, but based on the amount, the charges will differ. But based on the amount, the charges will differ. The SWIFT is a one kind of transfer. Generally, the bank people, the export and the importing people know, whenever they are doing the export or importing activities, that time they are using the particular SWIFT method. Okay. Then the next concept is ECS, electronic clearing service. It has 2 types. One is ECS debit and the next one is ECS credit. What is ECS debit? What is ECS credit? Example. Okay. Before 10 years, I bought some shares. In XYZ Company Limited. Okay. There is an agreement between the XYZ Company Limited and myself. Every month they will give dividend. Every month they will give the dividend of ₹1,000. Every month they will give ₹1,000 as a dividend. Okay, even the loss is coming or even the profit is coming, the standard dividend for me ₹1,000. Okay, if I am giving my bank account, every month the ₹1,000 automatically crediting to my account. That is an example of ECS creditor. Then ECS debitor. What is ECS debitor? Now I think you all are familiar with the ECS debitor. If you are having any personal loan or otherwise housing loan or car loan, okay, before and all, if you want to buy some car, you have to give, suppose 24 months means you have to give some 24 checks. But now totally the banking activities are changed. Okay, simply you can give some 1 or 2 check or 4 checks, maximum 4 checks. You have to give a signature in the 4 checks and some form, that is ECS debit form. Okay, so example, the 5,000 is a due. 5,000 is a due installment for every month. Automatically from my account, the particular people, they will take 5,000. That is an example of ECS debit. Or you can take it as some other example. The LIC premium. Every month I want to pay LIC premium. Okay, in the LIC that is a big concept. The endowment policy is there, and there are a lot of policies are there. Mediclaim policies are there. There are a lot of policies are there. Okay. So if I want to pay the premium, if I want to pay the premium, that is term policy. Term policy means every month 1,000. The experts, they are saying that if you are working people, you have to take compulsory 3 policies. What are the policies? One is surrendered value policy and another one is term policy. So the term policy is mandatory, then mediclaim policy is mandatory, and the third one, critical illness, is a mandatory one. Okay, if I want to pay the term insurance every month from my account ₹1,000, the LIC, they will take from my account with consent of mine, they will take every month ₹1,000 from my account. I have to fill some forms and all. That is the example of ECS debitor. So now I think you understand the concept of ECS debitor and ECS creditor. Okay, sir, the previous slide, sir. Okay, the next main title is CRM, Customer Relationship Management. The expansion or the abbreviation is Customer Relationship Management. Okay. The customer relationship management, the name only is giving some perfect meaning. How you are maintaining the relationship with customer, how you are managing the relationship with customer, that is a customer relationship management. Okay. Nowadays, there are a lot of public sector banks and private sector banks are there. There are heavy competition between the bank. So the customers are the, before we hear that customers were the king, but now the people are telling that customers are the god. If some banks, they are having large number of customers, more amount of customers, then the bank is a perfect bank. So how it is happening? With the help of CRM, that is customer relationship management. Okay, see. The approach of identifying, establishing, maintaining, and enhancing relationship with the customers. First, you have to identify the customer, then establishing the relationship, then maintaining the relationship, then you have to increase the relationship with the customers. Then only you will get more amount of profit. That is happening. How it is happening? With the help of CRM. If your CRM is perfect one, then only you can do your modern banking activities in a worldwide. If your CRM is not good one, your customer relationship team is not a good team, definitely you will lose. In future, definitely you will get a loss only. Okay. The particular CRM, the break-even point, we all are knowing about the break-even point. Break-even point is equal to no loss or no gain. The same example here, the CRM is a point. The particular point, it will give the equal emphasis on sales and service. Equal emphasis on sales and service. Just now I said that the customers are the god. If I am selling some products to the customers, immediately your duties are not overing there. It is continuing one. After sales service, after sales, after post sales, how you are providing service. If you are providing perfect service to the customers, that is the example of customer relationship management. If your CRM is best, definitely you will get more amount of profit. Okay. Can increase the bank's profitability having the right offer for the right client at the right time via the right channel. The CRM. In HRM, we know one concept, job description. In HRM, we know one concept, job description. Okay, right job for the right people. Right job for the right people. The same way here, having the right offer for the right client at the right time via right channel. That is a motto. That is a goal of customer relationship management CRM. Example. Now I am paying every month nearly 16,000 one personal loan account EMI, equated monthly installment. Then another rupees 5,000 also I am paying installment. Before 1 year or 1.5 years only, I have taken the particular loans and I am paying perfectly. Because of that, okay, one pre-approved offer is there in Axis Bank. Every month or every week, I will check simply what is going on there. Okay. Then one fine morning, what happened in the pre-approved offer, they given the credit card at free of cost. For me, no, they given the credit card at free of cost. Or otherwise, if you want to the credit card in general timings, you have to pay some 2,000 rupees joining fee. Then every year the maintenance fee and lot of fees are there. But because of my credit worthiness, because of my prompt payment, they given the credit card as free of cost. That is the example of CRM. And for me, no. Now one more option is there. What is the option? I can take any car. Maximum the amount value is 15 lakhs. The maximum amount value is 15 lakhs. And for the car also, nearly 90 to 95% fund they are providing. Only 5 or 10% I have to pay the principal amount. So these are the things under how and happening. The CRM, the customer relationship management executives, they are watching my bank account, how my bank operations are efficiently happening or not. My bank operations are efficiently happening. Because of that, the people are giving to me lot of offers, credit card offers, then car, or otherwise one more option is there for me. I can take any new bike, the maximum cost is 5 lakh. How it is happening? Because of the effective CRM. Okay, next slide. If you see the next slide, you can understand the functions of CRM. Functions of CRM. The functions of CRM, main functions are 4. The first one is acquiring new customers. The first one is acquiring new customers. How the banks are effectively getting deposits from the new customers or not. That is the first point in CRM. Now the public sector bank also, they are doing the deposit mobilization camp. The deposit mobilization camp. Why they are doing the deposit mobilization camp? With the help of the deposit mobilization camp, they are increasing their deposits and as well as they are acquiring new customers, because there are a lot of banks are there, nearly 21 private sector banks are there, 10 public sector banks are there, then one SBI is there. Apart from that, regional rural banks. In Tamil Nadu, we have before the bank were Pandian Grama Bank, Pallava Grama Bank. Now they merged both the banks. The bank, now the new name is Tamil Nadu Grami Bank. Only one bank. It is situated in all over Tamil Nadu. Okay, so there are a lot of banks are there. Apart from that, the public sector commercial banks, private sector commercial banks, regional rural banks, there are some of the banks are there. That is credit, cooperative credit society. There are a lot of banks are there. So getting the new customers is the tedious task. If the banks are getting the new customers, if the banks are acquiring new customers, now they cross the first step. Okay, if they are having enough number of customers, definitely the bank is going to the next step. That is, they are getting the profit in future. Then the second one, retaining existing ones. The second function of CRM, retaining existing ones. Okay, one side I am acquiring new customers, and another side how I am managing the retaining, how I am managing the existing customers. If I am always getting the new customers and I am not satisfying the old customers or existing customers, definitely the bank's future will be questionable. So one hand, I have to acquire the new customers from the open market, from the open world. Then the next hand, I have to do retaining of existing customers. How we can do the existing ones from the banker's point of view? They can do some periodical interview with their customers, periodical interview, loans, less interest rate loans, car loans, bike loans, personal loans, housing loans, or Mutra scheme. If you are giving Mutra scheme loan, or otherwise youth loan or education loan, we have to give lot of loans and as well as lot of interaction between the customers. Then only we can maintain, we can manage the existing customers. Okay. Then the customer satisfaction. Okay. One side we are always acquiring new customers, and one side we are maintaining the old customers. Then the third one is customer satisfaction. If we are doing the previous two activities, if the customer satisfaction are not satisfied one, definitely the bank's future will be lost. So here, what is the point? For the new customer also, and as well as existing customer also, there is a bound duty of the bankers. They have to maintain, they have to give satisfied activities to the customers. Satisfied activities to the customers. That means the products and services are the perfect one. If I am giving best product and best services to my customer, definitely the customers will be satisfied. If the customers are satisfied, the banks are entering into the new world. That is, they will be the number one bank in future. Okay, the new customers we are acquiring, the existing customers we are maintaining, the customer satisfaction also high. If the three things are going well, definitely the fourth will come. That is wallet share growth. Okay, our bank deposit will increase, our bank loans will increase. So our payout, our transaction cycle will also increase. Because of that, our bank share growth will be increased in the financial market. So the CRM is the first one. The CRM, all the bank has to maintain efficiently or effectively. Then only the bankers will get into higher achievement. And the CRM, one of the important concept is that acquiring new customers, retaining existing ones, customer satisfaction, value share growth. All the things are how it's happening because of the CIM. Because of the CIM, customer interaction management or customer interactive management. Now I am speaking about the CRM only. The CRM, one of the important concept is there. CIM, the CIM, the expansion is customer interaction management or customer interactive management. How the bankers are interactively interacting with customers. Okay, if I am the manager of the particular branch, if I am speaking to my customers, okay, politely and loyally, no, the people, they will think that the manager is a good person. The cashiers are speaking in good way. Definitely the illiterate people will only come to our bank, and even though the literate people also always prefer our bank. So one of the main activity is essential, that is CIM. The first one CRM. In the CRM, one main subcomponent is CIM, customer interactive management. How we are effectively using our CIM. And nowadays the CRM also changed into new phase, that is ECRM, electronic customer relationship management. How you are effectively using electronic CRM, based on that only the banking is increasing the profit or it will decrease the profit. So the CRM, or otherwise nowadays that is called as ECRM. So CRM, the main point is CIM. Now you can take it as ECRM also. The next slide is explaining about core banking solution. Core banking solution. The core banking solution, what is the concept? If I am having savings bank account in Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank, AJ College branch, Sivagasi. So if I am asking the question to you, okay, where I am having the account, you can tell the answer, TMP AJ College branch, Sivagasi. That is ordinary layman people give the answer. Okay, the educated people, they will give the answer differently. How you are customer of TMP Bank, not a TMP AJ College Bank. Okay, you are the customer of TMP Bank, not a customer of TMP AJ College branch, because now all the banks are doing core banking solution activities only. All the banks are doing core banking solutions activities only. Okay, what is core banking solutions? Networking of branches which enables customers to operate their accounts and avail banking services from any branch of the bank on CBS network. CBS means core banking solution. Okay. The account payable, you can hear the concept account payable. What is account payable? Or you can tell us at-par check. What is at-par check? At-par check means you can enhance the check in the form of amount at any branch of the particular bank. At any branch of the particular bank. Okay, see the theory. Networking of branches. I already said that in India, we are coming under branch banking system, not a unit banking system. Okay, so networking of branches, which enables customers to operate their accounts and avail banking services from any branch of the bank. Okay, the word is an important one. Any branch of the bank on CBS network. If the banks are providing CBS core banking solution, and we can use it any branch, that is not a matter. The ICICI, the HDFC, then Axis, some of the biggest private sector banks and all, they are providing this facility to the customers perfectly. Only the Tamil Nadu based private sector commercial banks, no, they are doing some things. They are doing the services a little bit low. Tamil Nadu based private sector banks, you know very well. In Tamil Nadu based private sector bank, only 4 banks. One is Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank and Lakshmi Vilas Bank and City Union Bank and Karur Vysya Bank. Okay, the banks are members of IB Indian Bank Association. The banks are a little bit different with the private sector banks, big one. But ICICI, If you are having account in Sivagasi ICICI, you can use it Sriliputur or you can use it Delhi or Gujarat, anywhere. They will think about all the customers are customers of the bank, not a branch. Okay. See, the second, all CBS branches are interconnected with each other. So a consumer is a bank customer and not of any branch. Okay. Then I'm starting the slide only. I said that all CBS branches are interconnected, not intraconnected, interconnected with each other. So a consumer is a bank customer and not of any branch. Okay. If you are having ICICI Bank, Sivagasi branch account, but you are the customer of ICICI Bank, not a particular branch. That is the meaning. Various branches use technology to focus on customer interface and service and to make them comfortable. Okay. If you are having the ATPAR check, you can enhance the particular check anywhere. The option is there. How the option is working? Because of the core bank solution. If the banks, what we are having the account, banks are providing core banking solution, no, definitely the banks are good there compared with the non-providing services of CBS. The next slide, the first one, CRM over. If your CRM is perfect one, definitely you will get more profit than core banking solution. If you are always doing the core banking solution, you have lot of customers compared with the other banks. Compare with other banks if you are having core banking solutions. Then risk management. Okay, I already said that banker is a privileged debtor. Banker is not ordinary debtor. Banker is privileged debtor. Generally, banker is taking debts from us, but in the form of some pay-in slip. Okay, so banker is a privileged debtor. So for our money, the banker has to give conscious about that. Give conscious about the customer's money. If they are doing anything unwillingly or unwantedly, definitely the risk will be arised to not only the bankers, the risk will affect the customers of the bank also. The risk management is the essential component in the banking activities, in the modern banking activity. The risk management. Practice of identifying potential risks in advance, analyzing them and taking precautionary steps to reduce the risk. Okay, advances. Advances means, you know that advances means it's a loan. Okay, if you want to give any advances or loans to someone, before only, okay, you should do the things advance whether the people are good. Definitely they will pay or not. You have to check their CIBIL score and their pre-credit activities. Then only you have to give the loans. If you are doing that one, definitely it will reduce the risk of the particular activity. Then risk management in bank operations include risk identification, measurement, and assessment. Okay, the risk management in bank operations has 3 steps. One is risk identification. Okay, if you want to give some loan, you should see the particular person is risky or he is good. If some risk identification is there, then you go to next step, measure. Okay, how we can measure the particular person with the help of CIBIL score, or we can inquire with some other bank. Then finally you assess. Then if the people are good, then you give the loan. Then only our customers' money will be safe. Then the third one, its objective is to minimize the negative effects risk can have on the financial result and capital of bank. If any negative effects are happening now, definitely it will affect the financial result and capital of the bank. Financial result and capital of the bank. Example, City Union Bank, Sivagasi, if they are giving loans to some person, the particular person is not paying any amount, we are thinking that only the particular branch will affect. Not like that. For the particular branch, the financial advice is there. To solve the problem of the particular branch, the City Union Bank, they will get amount from some other branch. So that is a capital reduction of the bank. That is a capital reduction of the bank. That means in future it will happen the capital raise only. Then a bank is exposed to various kinds of risk in its operations, such as a liquidity risk. If we are giving the loan, whether he is paying perfectly on every EMI equated monthly installment he is paying or not. Then credit risk. We are doing a lot of credit, overdraft or bank draft. There are a lot of credits we are doing. How the credits are using, how the credits are used by the customers. Then market risk. Even though we all are good, now you know the condition. Because of the COVID-19, all the markets are in stagnant position or it's a reducing nature. So even though we are maintaining all the things, the market risk we can't avoid. We can't avoid. Then exposure risk. Okay. It is just like a window dressing. The banks, they will see some other company window dressing, then they will invest the particular people money to the particular company. It will give some risk, that is exposure risk. Then investment risk, that one also same. Whether some of the banks and all, the SBI and all, they are always investing into some other companies. Okay, that is not SBI money, that is people's money. That is the customer's money. Okay, they are doing the investment and all, that is fine. But the investment and all really worthable. The investment and all really it's giving the interest or something. We have to enquire the things very carefully. If you are doing the CRM activities effectively, then core banking solutions effectively, then risk management is an important mitigate tool to avoid the risk. If you are doing the risk management efficiently, definitely your bank will be a perfect bank. Your bank is a perfect bank. So we are the customers of the particular bank. So we are also availing the modern banking activities in a perfect way. Next slide. So the conclusion. The banking industry has changed drastically over the past decade. So the previous 10 years onwards, the banking, lot of things are changing. And especially after the BJP government, Mr. Modi government, the particular government is doing lot of things differently. Internet has created a plenty of opportunities for players in the banking sector. With the help of internet, if your banks are very well versed in internet, then definitely your bank has some opportunity compared with the traditional banks. While the new entrants have the advantages of latest technology, the goodwill of the established banks gives them a special opportunity to lead the online world. If the banks are using the latest technology and the banks are having perfect goodwill, definitely the banks will rule the online world. But increasing security threats is leading to unpopularity of e-banking. But increasing security threats is leading to unpopularity of e-banking. Even though we all are very familiar to use the e-banking activities, but some security threats are there. Okay, example, if you are using Google Pay or Beam or otherwise Paytm or lot of applications are there, money applications are there. Google Pay, Paytm, Beam or eBay, lot of activities are there. If you are transferring some funds with the help of Google Pay, what is happening? The Google Pay is directly linked to our banking account. So our bank account, the amount will be debited, but for the creditor, the amount will credit some next 3 or 4 days only. So these are some security. If you are educated, you can understand, okay, next 3 or 4 days, automatically the amount will be credited to others. But if you are illiterate person, definitely in your mind, some question will come, where our money went, okay? Then there are certain efforts which should be made by the banking industry and also the customers to decrease the possibility of such problems. So even though there are a lot of merits and demerits are there, we should encourage the merits advantages thing, and we have to reduce the negative, the consequences, and we have to solve the problem. Definitely the modern banking is useful for all the people. The modern banking is useful for all the people. Okay. Come to the first slide, sir. First slide. So now I am doing the recap activities. What and all today I done that. The first one is traditional banks. That is how the traditional banks are different from the present one. There are nearly some 5 points are there. The traditional banks were only accepting deposits and granting loans and keeping valuables in safe custody and limited services, limited use of technology. Next slide. Then the e-banking, the simple meaning of e-banking, any banking convertibility in the form of electronically, that is electronic banking. Earlier we were thinking about only the ATM and telephone banking were the e-banking, but now we can use the banking activities anytime and anywhere. Next slide. Next slide. So these are some of the merits of e-banking: fast, flexibility, convenient, cash-free, low setup cost, cost-effective, fund management, and protective of environment. Next, demerits: security is questionable, internet accessibility is needed, customer service is questionable, knowledge regarding use of internet, it is not possible for illiterate or rural people. Then already said that e-banking is a roof. So the first one, subcomponent is ATM, automatic teller machine. Here we can do the balance inquiry, cash withdrawal, pay bills, but merchandising service is not there. Instead of ATM, you can tell it as plastic card. Next. So the debit card and credit card. Debit card, we have to do the merchandising activities also with the help of ATM cards thing. Then credit card, even though we don't have money, we can use for other purposes. That is a peculiar advantage in credit card. Then next slide. The smart card is a combination of ATM, debit, and credit card. Now all the debit card also little bit kind of smart card because of the privacy, because of the security. Next slide. So M-banking and SMS banking. SMS banking, before the introduction of e-banking only, the SMS banking was popular. Nowadays, we all are using mobile banking with the help of application. You can download it from the Google Play Store. Next. So e-check, it is a substitute of ordinary check. Illiterate also, they can use it. Ordinary check, the processing days may be 3 to 4 days. But this particular e-check, no, if I am giving now, automatically it will give it to other person. Within a second, it will happen. So that is very fast compared with the normal check. Next. So the internet banking or online banking, that is a main component in electronic banking. You can do paying bills or fund transfer or banking activities, account balance, paying mortgage loan, or purchasing financial instruments. You can do any number of transactions, any kind of transactions with the help of online banking, and you can use it for the virtual banking also. If you are using the virtual keyboard, that is very safer compared with the ordinary keyboard. Next. So EFT has component of 4, NEFT, then RTGS, then IMPS, then SWIFT. But here I am mentioning only NEFT and RTGS because only we are using the NEFT and RTGS only. Nowadays only we are, the IMPS is increasing. The NEFT, the meaning is there, National Electronic Fund Transfer. Within the nation, we can do the transferring of funds from one account to another account, but the minimum amount is 1, the maximum amount is 2 lakh. Then RTGS, you can do from 2 lakhs to and you can do from 2 lakh to maximum any amount. There is no limit for that, and you can transfer the money any part of the world. Then some of the important concepts are there. If you are maintaining very good CRM, now the CRM is converted in the form of eCRM. In the CRM, the main concept is CAM, Customer Interactive Management. The 4 functions are main functions: acquiring new customers, retaining existing ones, customer satisfaction, balance share growth. So the three functions are going well. Definitely we will get a more share growth from the customers. Then core banking solution. The credit society, the cooperative credit society and all, they are not using the core banking solution. But the public sector and private sector banks and all, they are using the core banking solution. So if you are having account in core banking solution bank, definitely you are lucky compared with the other bank account holder, because core banking solution, if you are having, no, you are the customer of a bank, not a branch. You can take withdrawal from any branch in India. That is one of the peculiar significance in core banking solution. Okay, next. Risk management. I already said that. The first one CRM, the second one core banking solution, then the final one is risk management. How you are effectively managing the risk. How you are effectively managing the risk. Based on the risk, the customers will put their money in the bank. Example, now recently what happened, Yes Bank, some problems happened now, but they solved perfectly. Because of that, now the Yes Bank shares, it's increasing as that is a concept of risk management. The particular CEO of the Yes Bank, he sorted out the problem efficiently. Okay, next. So the conclusion, one side a lot of merits are there, one side a lot of negatives are there. But if we are neglecting the disadvantages and demerits, and if we are sorting out in a good form, definitely the modern banking is perfect. Okay, next. These are the references I taken from some various resources, and especially the last reference. I am using the last reference only maximum. Slideshare.net, Simran 233 modern banking. Okay, the particular concept, the particular Slideshare I am giving to the particular person, Simran. The next slide. If you can, if you have any queries, doubts, clarifications, suggestions, criticism, you can ask. I am not very familiar in banking things and all, but if you have any doubts, you can ask me. And one of the person he asked in the group, sir, how they are fixing the credit card limit? Actually, I am not sure about that, but as per my opinion, they are seeing our CIBIL score. Credit Information Bureau India Limited. I don't know which person he asked that. Sir, for your question, the answer is, one second, I will tell which person also.
Joel Sebaduri, Professor Joel Sebaduri, sir.
Where, sir? Which college?
He didn't mention it.
Oh, okay. Wait, sir. I am also going to that chat only.
Yes, sir.
Where,
Another one more questions asked by Atma Ramani. After the S-Bank issue, what kind of measures does RBI has taken towards the private banks?
Where, sir? I am not able to see the question. Say it's last. It's in last.
Atma Ramani, Professor Atma Ramani is asking the same question. S-Bank issues had,
Yeah, Joel Jabadrai to everyone. Dear sir, very good information sharing session. I have a question about how the banks are fixing the credit limit for a credit card. Actually, I am not very familiar about that. But as per my opinion, the particular banks now, they are seeing our CIBIL score. CIBIL means, CIBIL is one kind of private institution. They are providing rank to our financial activities. How we are doing the financial activities efficiently. If we are doing the financial activities efficiently, the CIBIL is giving higher score to our functions. The CIBIL, the expansion is Credit Information Bureau India Limited. Okay. So in the CIBIL example, myself, that is a real example. When I got the personal loan, immediately I applied the credit card. But that time, they were not giving the credit card. But after that, I paid nearly 1 or 1.5 years the personal loan efficiently. Now only I got the credit card because my CIBIL score increased. Then I asked my friend who is working in bank, and he is telling that maybe your CIBIL score increased, because of that they given the particular credit card. And one more professor from Arunachal Pradesh, nice presentation about modern banking. Thank you, sir. The question is, sir, Yes Bank issue, what kind of measures does RBI has taken towards the private banks? Okay, sir, thank you for your question. But from my opinion, what I am telling, generally the private banks are doing activities perfectly compared with the public sector banks. The private sector banks, only the demerit is, if you are getting any loan, they are putting large interest. Example, if you are buying some car with the help of SBI bank, that time some 10% interest is there. But if you are the same thing, if you are taking in HDFC or ICICI, some other private sector banks, they are putting some 16%, 18% like that. Apart from that, the private sector banks are doing well only. But there is no need of, now my point, that is my opinion, don't feel bad. The RBI has to monitor the public sector banks well than that of private sector banks. The RBI, they can see the private sector banks, what they are doing. If they are doing great, don't involve it. If they are doing something wrong, then they can interfere and they can tell the rules and regulations. Only the interest rate, the penalty and all, the RBI has to take consideration in the private sector banking sectors. I think the answer is very useful for you. Or otherwise, if you have any opinion, you can tell to me. Thank you. Then any queries, questions from your side?
That Professor Ramkumar is asking question that why our India is not having proper risk management. What is your suggestion for that?
There, sir.
Professor Ramkumar, our faculty, Kalasalingam Business School faculty is raising a question.
Oh, he is putting in the chat box or no?
Yes, sir. It is in the
there, I'm not
chat
finding.
box.
But one Kiran Bala, he is asking another one more question. Which bank, private or government bank, is safe and benefit for us, sir? Okay. Here, that is my answer. The answer, compare with private and public sector bank, only private sector banks are best. That is my answer. Okay.
Okay, sir.
If you are simply maintaining or if you are simply investing money in the private sector, that is best. But if you want to take some loan or otherwise mortgages, hypothecation, that time you go to the public sector bank. Because the private sector banks, no, they are really providing good service compared with the public sector bank. The public sector banks, no, the people, they are not seeing we are their customers. So that is one of the things. From my suggestion, the private sector banks are providing very good service. And I can give one more real example that is related to insurance sector. My friend, my teacher, Dr. G. Ramesh Pandey, friend Dr. J. Vimal Priyan, now he is working in some college, Virudhunagar Srividya College, HOD. He did with his PhD some insurance companies. In that PhD thesis, what was the conclusion? No? That was a comparison study with private sector and public sector. We all are thinking that the public sector insurance are great. But in the PhD research, it says that compared with public sector insurance, the private sector insurance are best. The private sector insurance are giving more claim, timely claiming. All the things are happening in the private sector only. So the private sectors are best. That is the opinion we got from the PhD thesis. Okay, Dr. J. Vimal Priyan, he is working in the Srividya College of Arts and Science, Commerce, HOD. You can contact the person and you can ask, sir, that is real or not. That is a real-time example. The same way, from my opinion, private sector banks are best, but loan and all don't go for the private sector bank. And T. Vel Kumar. And T. Vel Kumar, he is asking one more doubt. Core banking and Nifty SIM practice. Yes, sir. Core banking is already available in the practice. Core banking, no, the core banking is not for the customers. The core banking is option for the bankers. Okay, core banking, the option for the bankers. you can ask, sir, our bank is a core banking. If they are saying yes, then you are the perfect customer of the bank. Then Nifty is in practice. Yeah, Nifty is in practice. Okay, the Nifty is before some 10 years only the Nifty concept came into the world. With the help of Nifty, you can transfer the amount, but the only condition is within India. Then Albert Christopher sir asked one more doubt. Do you think that digital banking can effectively support organized business or small business? Yes, of course. My answer no, sir. Yeah, now the digital banking are supporting unorganized business also, small business also. Example, now before some 5 years and all, if you are going to some tea shop, only option is we have to give change. But now the option is there. They are putting the Google Pay, Paytm. Okay, simply you can scan the barcode and you can pay the amount, 5 rupee. Even though the tea cost is 5 rupees, you can pay the 5 rupees with the help of Google Pay or Paytm, like that. The Paytm and Google Pay are directly linked to our account. Then one more sir asked one more doubt. Can you suggest any risk management strategies in investment, especially this COVID pandemic? Sir, now Ramesh sir, nice question. My suggestion, no, nowadays and all, no need of investment. Don't go for investment. Instead of that, secure your life. Instead of that, secure your life. In the session also, I explained 3 insurance policies are must. 3 insurance policies are must. One is term insurance. Example, your salary is 50,000. Example, my salary is 50,000. My age is 30. So I can do some calculation. I will live up to 60. So there is a bound duty. The first insurance policy we have to take. The insurance policy is called as a what is it? Term policy. Every month, 1,000. If I am dying, no, the insurance company, they will give some 1 crore amount to my family. That is a term policy. Then the second one, Mediclaim policy. If you are getting more salary, definitely for your entire family, you have to take the Mediclaim policy in a family wing. The particular policy name is family bundle, the family wing. The maximum amount is 5 lakh. Okay, every year some 2,000 premium will come. So 2,000 if you are paying now, the 5 lakh you can use it for you or your wife or otherwise children. The second policy is essential. Then the third policy, that is critical illness. We people know we are not aware about the critical illness policy. Critical illness policy is not a alone policy. Whenever you are doing any term policy or otherwise, the Mediclaim policy, with the help of that one only, you can take the critical illness. Critical illness means, suppose for me, no, suddenly the heart attack is coming. Okay, the doctors are saying that I will not work next 1 year. The insurance company, they will give for the 10 months, for the 1 year, they will give 10 lakhs. For that one, no, every month the premium is rupees 350 only. Okay, for the 350 you are paying. Okay, people are thinking that insurance is an investment. You don't see the insurance is an investment. Insurance is an insurance. Insurance is giving assurance for your life. Foreign countries and all, that is mandatory. If anything going wrong in the critical illness, they will give 10 lakhs. With the help of 10 lakhs, they can run the life up to 1 year. That is my suggestion. So no need of this time, at the time of COVID, I am telling to all the audience, no need of investment. Okay, go with the protection of your life. The Alibaba CEO, the Alibaba company CEO, now he is telling that one super quote. What quote? No, you don't see that 2020 is waste. Not like that. If you are living in the world, that is a perfect gift for you. Okay, so because of the COVID, if you are living in the world only, that is a big gift. Okay, any queries? Hello, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Then, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable presentation, sir. You did a wonderful job regarding the delivery of information about the traditional banking and modern banking. Today, all the people are sitting in their home or anywhere, and they are doing the banking transactions with the help of internet. So
Yes, sir.
you delivered a lot of information regarding the internet banking. I
Yes,
hope all the participants gained a lot of information from your delivery. Dean sir, are you here, sir? Dean sir? Dean sir? Dean sir?
சார் இருக்காங்க சார். ஆனா அவங்க அன்மியூட் பண்ணாங்க சார்.
Okay, just make a call.
Vijay ma'am, can you unmute ma'am? Dean sir.
Dean sir? Okay. Vijay ma'am? Ramkumar sir,
Sir,
please unmute
sir.
Vijay ma'am. Yeah.
Sir, ma'am has to do sir.
Sir, Ravindran sir, no, he is asking in the group, please unmute me.
Please unmute, sir.
Ramkumar sir?
சார் அவங்க தான் அன்மியூட் பண்ணல சார். நான் அந்த ஆப்ஷன் அவங்களுக்கு கொடுத்துருக்கேன். சார் தான் அன்மியூட் பண்ண முடியும் சார். நான் பண்ண முடியாது.
Dean sir, please unmute by yourself, sir.
அந்த சிம்பிள்
Dean sir, please click the unmute option, sir.
ஓகே ஓகே பண்ணிட்டாருங்க.
Yes. Previously, he has not unmuted me. That is why he
Oh.
cannot. The host
Kindly give
should-
your concluding remarks, sir.
Yes, it's a very good. There is a session that is given by done by Mr. Sivamurugan. Thank you so much,
Sir,
Mr. Sivamurugan. One thing
Thank you,
you
sir.
have,
Thank you,
one thing there is you have done. There is on the part of the banking. There is
Yes,
the security, the risk management, everything, whatever they have.
Yes,
There is on for the customers. We'll have a separate session for the customers. How to choose
Yes,
a
sir.
bank, because nowadays when you said private banks, there
Yes,
is
sir.
are,
Yes.
safe. You said so. Some of the
Yes, sir.
there is rather lectures I've gone through, where in which when they say private banks like S Bank is the only bank which has escaped from this.
Yes, yes, sir.
So before that, it was there is bailed out by our the government. Otherwise,
Yes, sir.
it would have gone to that is the ditch. So now after this COVID, when the private banks, from my feeling, private banks are not there is even the public sector banks also, because we are not, they are utilizing our fund. They are utilizing
sir.
our fund without
Yes,
our
sir. Yes.
permission, right? So in that case,
Yes.
like various other the top level companies, those are even including the Reliance Communications, has gone to the liquidation and bankrupt. So
Yes,
these
sir.
are all the there is rather disadvantages lying with the private bank, because we do not know what they have decided to lend the money, our money, to other people, even the public
Yes,
sector.
Yes.
So what you said correctly, better you just instead of investing, you keep idle and be there is invest in rather ensure your life,
Protecting our life.
protecting our life. That is good.
Yes, sir.
Very good
Yes, sir.
suggestion you made. So
Yes,
this with this I conclude. I congratulate you, and I just
Thank you, sir.
wish you all success in all your endeavors. A very good
Yes, sir.
session
Thank
you
you, sir.
had. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, sir. Thanks. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir. Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Shall we close the session, sir?
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all the participants. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sivamurugan, sir.
Okay, sir. Bye bye. Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Yeah.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Thank you.